government system, not necessarily the political party their leader, but the government system that's in place, it ought to be in charge. Right? So, for example, if you look at this government family unit, here's a family government thing. Anybody know what movie that's from? Really? You suck. My gosh, that's terrible. Christmas Story, yeah. So anybody know any of the names of the characters in here? Nope. What's the boy with the glasses who likes to shoot things with a BB gun? Yeah, that's Ralphie. And what's his little brother? I think. He's the one who like eats food like by burying his face in the plate of food. Anyway, so who has governmental authority in this setting? Yeah, who do you think? Or you're just scratching your head? The dad. How many of you guys would say the dad? And you're like, I don't know. I don't know the movie. How many of you guys would say somebody else in here also exercises some governmental authority? What do you think? The mom. Yeah, and sometimes it's like interior design, like what lamp should be in the window. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. She doesn't get her way directly, but she gets her way. Yes. What's that? Well, he got a lamp. It was a major award, but it was like something that his wife was like, this is a lamp of a lady's leg, which is kind of an odd choice of things for the man to choose. But he was like excited because it was a prize. And she was like, She knocked it over and broke it. So who has the governmental authority? So what about the boys? Do they have a sense that dad and maybe mom ought to be in charge of that entity? Yeah, so therefore he is, or they are, legitimate. Yeah, they are children. Yes, this is true. I'm not going to tell you they're not children. But they are legitimate. So it's like, do most of the people in the United States say that the United States governmental system, not necessarily the president, Republicans or Democrats, but the system that we have, should be in charge? Yeah. And so we have these big fights going into elections, contests, but that's what it is. An interesting question. You're like, well, what about Communist China, which has a different governmental system, don't you know, than the United States of America? Can I just turn that off? It's not good. Is it legitimate? Well, let's get the second part of the definition. Ready? Here we go. The second part of the definition, I'll repeat the first part. The sense of the people that the governmental system in charge ought to be in charge because it provides, and here's where you want to look at the paper I gave you, because it's 4 bullet points. Provides for national security, domestic security, economic social satisfaction, and it protects freedom. Do you see the bullet points on the paper? You want to transfer those over. And we'll go into those in great detail. In fact, I bet you could give me a quick definition of each one. Raise your hand if you can tell me, what do you suppose national security, security from what? Danger coming from where? Outside, exactly. Yeah, outside. What about domestic security? Protection from danger that exists? Exactly, within the country. Very good. And then economic social satisfaction? Yes. Yeah, no, that's an interesting question. We'll be putting that whole COVID thing in the analysis because COVID has messed with everything. Hopefully it hasn't messed with things so bad that we're like, wow, our governmental system is not legitimate anymore. We need to have a revolution and get the British out of here. I mean, we did that back in 1776. We haven't got to that point yet in the United States with the COVID thing, but it's messing with stuff. Trust me. What about economic social satisfaction? What basic thing do you suppose you would like to have so that somebody would say, ah, yes, that person is, satisfied economically? Money from a job, yeah, so a decent paying job to help pay the bills and provide food and things and so forth. So that's a basic thing. What's freedom? What are we talking about freedom? What's that? Like freedom to think and speak and express your point of view, these civil rights, like religious freedoms and so forth. Here's the sad last thing I'm going to tell you. Because sometimes people are like, Russians and Chinese must have something in their genes that makes them less loving of democracy because they so rarely, if ever, have democracy in their country and protection of freedom and so forth. What's the matter with those people? Guess which of those four things gets thrown aside and maybe isn't as important as some of the others in parts of the world? Freedom. And I'm here to tell you, and I'll build on this next time. Some parts of the world have bad geography, what? Bad history, bad circumstances, that they are fortunate to even have a government that can provide like security, and they never get around to freedom. In our country, hopefully throughout the rest of your lives, there will be enough security, job satisfaction, things like that, so that we can also have a government that, and a bunch of people that say we still need to have freedom. Because if it ever gets too crazy, freedom could get the heave-ho, and that's happened historically. I'll build on that more with you guys. Clean the desks. We'll start with you guys, and then you can just grab one there. No, you don't have to go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was like in 5 minutes. Yeah, hold on. Here we go. That's good. Yeah. I don't need to use Zoom. Well, you know what I'm doing on the other day? I'm in here teaching the other students. Yeah, I know. So, if you guys have gotten yours, then you guys go, just so long as you're not congregating and so forth back there, grab a little wipey deal and wipey wipe. And you got one more period. Don't bring my book to class every day. And I haven't even given you a book yet. Give it to me. Okay, I know. I still got you on a list if I haven't, like, if you didn't return it. Yeah, I'll bug you about that later. Yeah, I'll get that from you. It's okay. No, I've got the list of those who have turned them in and those who haven't, and if I see you, I'll bug you about it. Okay. Okay, and that means we're done.